course. It was going way too perfect. The intro worked. The aesthetics worked. The sound was working. The video was working. Everything was going to plan. The transition from the countdown to the signature to the opening music was going smoothly. And then I go live. Boom! I'm on here. I'm over here talking, and then when it says your microphone is muted, it always has to be something. It always has to be something. It always does. It never goes. It never fails. Seriously, it never fails. But that's the thing, though, is that what would the 23rd hour be without a hiccup here and there, right at the very beginning? Of course, it's going to happen. We just got to go with it. Of course, and speaking of going with it, let's go with this show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of the 23rd hour. I'm your host, Mr. Maurice Proffit, your guy, your main event over here. And today, everybody, we chopping it up on this beautiful, glorious Sunday. It is gorgeous outside. It feels good. The sky is blue. There's the sun rays are coming in and everything. People are outside, you know what I mean? People doing the family thing today, people with their friends, people at the lake, folks out in the street. For real. Like, I was out early this morning taking care of some business and everything like that. And folks are already out and about and everything like that. I'm like, you know what? It must be Forbidden Door Sunday, because everybody and mama's out doing their thing, getting ready for the pay-per-view. Of course, that's what's happening, right? Of course, that's what's happening. But I said that, I cleared my day out today. I cleared my entire day out today. I said I'm going to use today was Sunday. I want to dedicate nothing but just watching this pay-per-view, enjoy it, have a few beverages, have something to eat, all that good stuff and everything, be very relaxed, be done with all my stuff, all my chores and everything, all my running around, all my errands. So this way I can be honed in on this pay-per-view. And man, what a great way to spend a few hours watching professional wrestling. It was this way, let me tell you, for real. And just in general overall, these last, I would say since Wednesday, just the whole vibe and energy of AEW being over in England, over in Europe this week, for their mini tour, getting ready to go to Forbidden Door in London and everything, getting things set up and everything like that, building up to that to the main show has been nothing short of incredible. We had a really good Dynamite, a go home Dynamite this past Wednesday, which was really good, because it wasn't like the most over the top spectacular Dynamite, but it set everything up properly for what we're going to get today. It set everything up properly. Nothing was ignored. Everything was touched on. It really was great time that was utilized to build up the importance of each and every match and make you even more that excited and looking forward to what was going to come about today. And even last night on Collision as well, too, it did the exact same thing also, where it really did give you a little bit more spice and a little bit more understanding of what to expect. You saw like some really good wrestlers, some really great wrestling who are not necessarily going to be on the pay-per-view today. But you saw some really good stuff that came out from last night. It really to get you in the mood for what to expect for what to expect with what we got today and everything. So yeah, hats off to what they've been doing over there. Also, speaking of hats off to the TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. She captured her 9th championship belt that she's holding simultaneously. Like, seriously, she's holding she wrestled, oh man, I cannot remember what promotion it was, but it's one of the promotions over there during the European tour. It was her. I believe she had her TBS title on the line in the match as well too, I believe, or one of the other titles up against the title that she won. My apologies, everybody. I cannot remember the name of the title or the promotion that she won it from, but she captured her 9th title this past Friday. And let me tell you, it was just so great seeing all the butthurt dweebs on the internet getting so angry at the fact that this black woman continues to win championships. Like, what you guys gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, she's undeniable. She really is undeniable. And that's the thing, is that this is building up to be able to, because here's the thing. She has 9 titles right now, right? She has 9 titles right now. I believe one of them is is indefensible. It's indefendable. It's the Owen Hart title, the Memorial title. But the thing is, though, is that she has all of these championships, right? Eventually, what has to happen when you're the champion? You have to lose it. You know what I mean? You have to lose it. So that means, with the exception of the Owen, and we're talking about 8 championships that are on her shoulders, around her waist, however you want to say it, that she carries with her. She has these titles. She has to lose them. And when she loses them, it will be a big deal, not only for the wrestler who beats her, but also for the promotion as well too. This is just good business overall. This is good business overall. And to be honest with you, if I am an independent company, an independent promotion that has enough cachet, that has obviously enough cash as well too, a good following, where I have the opportunity to be able to put my women's championship on Mercedes Moné at this time, you damn right I'm going to take advantage of that. Absolutely, because that's just eyes on my promotion. Because now a lot of people are looking up, saying, okay, what titles does she have? What promotions did she wrestle in? Who did she beat for titles? Find out about who it is that she beat and where it is as well too. Now, guess what happens? That promotion is on your radar. That wrestler is on your radar. That region is on your radar. You now know who they are. Before you knew and before you didn't know that they existed before though. But this gives a lot of eyes, a lot of credence to that promotion. And like I said, once she drops each of those titles, that's going to mean she's going to make about 8 different women who are going to get a little, who are going to get a little bit more of a boost when it comes to their their visibility. So that's what I'm saying. It's like all these people are so angry. They're so mad that Mercedes Moné keeps on winning. They keep getting so angry about it. They keep waving their fists in the air. They keep jumping on the keyboard so they can write. They can write their hate language and everything against her and whatnot. They keep on doing this, but the thing is, though, is that these promoters are very happy about it. You think about that? These promoters are saying, no, we want our title on her because this works. And they look at the much bigger picture of things, where a lot of these very butthurt dweebs are just looking at the very microscopic vision of what's going on. And this is why you cannot progress further. This is why you are in the position that you are right now. This is why that you stay stagnant where you at, from an emotional standpoint, from an intelligence standpoint, from a philosophical standpoint as well too, and from a moral standpoint also. Like, you're not connecting the dots. You're not seeing the entire vision of like what this is all about. And plus, at the end of the day, this is professional wrestling. We're talking about a predetermined sport here. All right? Seriously, we're talking about a predetermined sport here. And you swear to God, because all these people are saying, they're calling her Mercedes Hogan and everything like that. Which, by the way, I do appreciate that the characteristic of holding people back and having holding people back and being like having the creative say so over everybody, that edict still exists and it still is attached on the Hulk Hogan. I'm very happy about that, seriously, because that's something that you cannot deny. It really isn't. So I know he's not here anymore, but hey, you can't deny that. But anyway, but also at the same time, that narrative is very wrong. It's very false. Because do you think that Mercedes can go into these independent promotions and be like, oh, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna take your women's championship? No, it doesn't work that way. No, it does not work that way. These are promoters who are like, we want her to take our title, so we're gonna make it happen. All right. So yeah, man, I need for y'all to use your brains and understand that this is gonna be a really great thing in the very end, because she's going to make 8 different women at this moment. 8 different women who are going to be on your radars, 8 different women that you can continue to follow and watch their careers flourish. Like, damn, man, as a wrestling fan, don't you want to see that happen? Come on, man. For real, like, let's smarten up a little bit. But anyway, shout out to Mercedes Moné. for winning that championship. 9 belts more name, man. You gotta love it. Hey, I want to see you get 19. Fuck it. What about 20? You know what I mean? Let's see it happen for real. Let's see it happen. And I feel like on the I was listening to Covalent TV, and shout out to Covalent TV, Daryl and Warner. I was listening to them the other day, and I believe they said that grand total with all the belts that she has won so far, if you include the NXT championships also, she has already surpassed Charlotte Flair. So I mean, right there, like, come on, man, that's a celebration right there. I think Charlotte Flair's at 15, I believe, and she's at 16, something like that. So something of that nature. But seriously, shout out to her for making that happen. That is amazing, amazing work. And the Forbidden Door scrum is on right now. And look who's on the stage, Miss Mercedes Monet, right now. All right. So yeah. So if you want to tune into that while you're watching me, go right ahead. All right. I am not going to be mad about that whatsoever. And please, feel free to drop your comments in the comment section below. Drop it in the chat. I'll be able to read it live on the air. Now, for some reason, I can't see the Facebook chat comments for some reason live. They don't come up on StreamYard's been acting goofy lately. I don't know what the problem is, but it's been acting real goofy lately. I can see the YouTube comments. I can see the Twitch comments live on here, but I can't see the Facebook. So if you drop a comment on Facebook, I will get back to you later on your comment after the show is over with. All right. So I'm not ignoring you. It's just because Facebook is kind of doofy on the StreamYard platform. All right. So a little bit more news to talk about. So in the last week when we're all on here, we were talking about how the rumor was going around that there was a possibility that there was going to be a September 20th WWE PLE taking place on the same day as AEW All Out. And lo and behold, the news came out this week. And of course, the news was so heavy this week when it came to like just taking shots at AEW, because you knew it was AEW pay-per-view week. It always happens. It never fails. Whenever it's AEW pay-per-view week, that's when you see all the little wrestling outlets taking all their shots at AEW, like everything, because they have to. Because of insecurities. And then, of course, you had Lance Storm making a commentary about something that he saw on Dynamite, and everyone thought that was a gospel all of a sudden. Like, I'm like, since when have y'all been heralding and defending Lance Storm to this degree ever? Like seriously, stop it, guys. Seriously, it's hilarious. But going back to the news though that was announced this week, so apparently those rumors are true. They will be having WrestlePalooza taking place on September 20th, the counter program AEW's All Out. And apparently it's going to be their first event on ESPN, which means they're going to be no longer messing around with Peacock. So next week, I believe, is the Paris show. That's WWE's last show on Peacock, their last pay-per-view, or excuse me, PLE. That's going to be on Peacock. So that really does kind of suck. And the thing is, though, is that why it sucks, because originally when the announcement was made that WWE was going to be on the ESPN platform when it came to all their PLEs, everyone was under the impression, and because it was also announced that would not start until 2026. When? Not sure. Probably around WrestleMania. Who knows? But the thing is, though, is that I felt that was fair, because it gave people time to be able to, plan out and budget how they're going to make the transition from Peacock to ESPN, and how can we afford an extra app? Do we want to keep on Peacock after they're gone? Maybe perhaps the library or whatever like that. And I think they're still going to Saturday Night's Main Event on Peacock as well too. So there's a lot that's involved when it comes to making these transitions and also adding on an extra app. But WWE, being WWE, they said, nah, forget all that. We're gonna pull the trigger now. We are very thirsty to be able to throw whatever we can throw at AEW. So pull out the missiles, pull out the guns, pull out the bazookas, pull out the muskets, every weapon you have. So this way we can make sure that we counter program them very hard. So that means that We're going to sever our ties right away. We're going to go to ESPN right now, and we're going to throw in the first show that's going to be on ESPN against All Out, and that's going to be WrestlePalooza on September the 20th. Like, I guess, man, like, for real. And the thing is that, like, you know, I feel that fans are a little tired of the bullshit. And, you know, I know fans at the end of the day, WWE fans especially, they're going to fall in line. And they're going to go wherever WWE goes. Like, that's a given. Like, they're just going to do that. You know, they're upset right now. They're complaining. They're having some issues with it and everything like that. They're expressing some frustrations. But at the end of the day, they are just going to fall in line, you know, because that's what they all do. And they're going to make a way out of no way, basically. So, and that's fine because that's what's expected. But you really are seeing a lot of people saying that, okay, we're getting kind of tired of this, and it does look very childish as well too, because WWE has claimed for so incredibly long that AEW is not competition to them, and they're not. You know, like, they're not competition. They're not. You know, from a sizable standpoint, they're not. All right, but at the same time, though, AEW has enough of a very strong and organic fan base that where fans gravitate to them in good faith, and they don't have to be involved with trickery. They don't have to be involved with gimmicks or anything of that nature. They are there because they want to be there. Whereas a lot of WWE fans, they are there because of nostalgia. They are there because it's very simple to be able to follow it and all, and it's very convenient also, and it looks cool. So, and I'm not taking anything, like, I do give WWE a lot of, like, flack a lot. I do, but I will give them that they are a superpower. They really are, and that's undeniable, you know. But my thing is, though, that if you are a superpower, why are you worried about the little guy? You know, if you are the senior varsity quarterback of your high school, and you are, you know, you're an All-American, you are breaking records, you have a winning record. You're always in the paper all the time. All these schools are scouting you. They want you to, they're throwing a ton of money at you to come to their school. But why are you concerned with why are you concerned with the Pop Warner kid that's killing it on his level? That's over here killing it on his level. That's years behind you age-wise, but he's killing it in the Pop Warner joint. Like, he's getting some mad attention. He's getting a lot of love. He's getting a lot of, like, you know, like, just a whole lot of eyes that are on him. But you are so concerned with the Pop Warner kid. Like, let the Pop Warner kid rock. You know what I mean? Let him rock, for real. He just got into the game. He's doing his thing. Let him rock it. You worry about your own successes. And I feel the same way about that too. Now you're probably saying, oh, Maurice, are you comparing AEW to Pop Warner football? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, though, my analogy is saying that AEW just got into the game like 6 years ago. And within the 6-year time frame, they've done some significant work. You know, that you cannot deny. They have done some very significant work, and they have gone through some ups and downs and some bumps and bruises that they've experienced, absolutely, without question. But at the same time, though, they have learned from that as well too, and they have grown from it. So let them rock. Let them rock, for real. You're still WWE. You're still the big bad bully on the block. All right. You're still the big bad bully on the block. All right. You know, you have the very cushy avenue in front of you. So why are you worried about them so much, where you have to counter program everything? Like, it's so unnecessary and so petty, and it's so childish. So that's what they're doing. They are going to be on the 20th. They're using the ECW edict of WrestlePalooza. For old school ECW heads will remember that. It was amazing seeing how many people did not know about that, and how many WWE fans were, like, you know, calling it stupid, and that's a stupid thing, man. Where did you get that from? And I'm saying, okay, you guys have never seen old school ECW then. Got it. And speaking of people who are kind of hypocritical as well too, some of the WWE fans being hypocritical. When they announced Ace Austin is now part of AEW's roster, and when that was announced that he signed with AEW, it was all these people were saying, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" And it's like, oh wait, aren't you y'all are y'all supposed to be so pro TNA now because WWE's in bed with TNA or TNA's in bed with WWE now? So who don't you already know who that is? Come on now, don't y'all love TNA? Anyway, I'm gonna get off it. Now again, this is these are my opinions and whatnot and everything, and I'm just going off what I see. You know what I mean? But it's just it's just how it is right now at this point. But so that's gonna be happening on September 20th. Let me know if you're gonna be watching WrestlePalooza on September 20th. If you're gonna be watching All Out on September 20th, or you're gonna watch nothing at all on September 20th. You're gonna watch probably a rerun of Martin or something like that, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't know. So yeah, just drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. What's your opinions about the counter programming that's happening and all that good stuff and everything. So, all right. So speaking of good stuff, let's get into it, guys. Today was Forbidden Door, AEW's. I believe this is their fourth Forbidden Door pay-per-view. This is their fourth one. So yeah, I believe it's their fourth. Forbidden Door pay-per-view. It was a stat card, y'all. Let me tell you, this card was ridiculously stacked. Now, I did not see the 0 hour. Like I said, I was running a bunch of errands this morning, and I got home back. The pay-per-view started at noon in Chicago time. I got back home about 11:45, 11:50. So I caught the very tail end of 0 hour. Didn't really see any matches at all. So I'm gonna have to watch that back later on because I want to see my boy Michael Oku do his thing in the ring. So I'm just gonna check that out a little bit later on. But let's talk about the pay-per-view, everyone. So the pay-per-view starts off with. And I'm looking at my phone, y'all, just in case you're like, what the hell he looking at over there? Why he looking to the side? He all rude and whatnot. So the match, so the pay-per-view starts off with a tag team match. We're talking about Adam Copeland and Christian Cage tag teaming together for the first time since 2001, I believe. So I believe in like 24 years, the first time tag teaming, and they're taking on Kip Sabian and Kill Switch. I thought this is really smart putting this match on first, because this match did deserve a lot of energy. You did not want to put this on a little bit later on while everyone was kind of like, like a little bit worn out a little bit. So you wanted to make sure this had a lot of energy into this match, right? Considering the fact that, now ever since Australia back in February, now the crowd sings Adam Copeland's song On This Day. They now sing his song, live and everything, and he has that moment where they do it a cappella, which is really great. It's really great to see. So, of course, you want to have that organic energy happening for him in the ring, and then be able to see Christian Cage and Adam Copeland be tag team partners once again, and it felt good. It felt really good, people, to see them in the ring together and be working together as a tag team. That felt really good. We've seen them on multiple occasions wrestle each other. Now we're seeing them wrestle together. It just felt right, man. So shout out to that. It was really cool seeing that. Copeland just looks in amazingly great shape, man. Like he keeps himself so ready. Like you cannot talk about this man bad, just based off the way how he looks, because he looks phenomenal and arguably probably in the best shape of his life. So I remember when he was a much younger version of himself as Edge in the WWE. He still was like a little thick at times. You know what I'm saying? But now you can tell like it's a totally different version of him where he really is very conscious about his intake and very conscious about his physique, very conscious about his conditioning and everything. You can just tell. It's funny. A side note. I feel that like as you get older in general, you are a lot more conscious about your physical well-being. So you are going to eat better. You are going to take care of yourself better. You are going to be more active and everything. You just are just like naturally much more conscious of being healthier, living a healthier lifestyle and everything. And I'm seeing that with a lot of men and women who are my age, who are, at a point in their lives where they're like, I want to jump in the fountain of youth myself as well too. So I'm gonna stay up with my workouts and my diet, my exercise, and my vitamins and everything like that, my protein. So it's good. It's really good seeing that. And Adam Copeland, he does personify that as well too. And speaking of physiques, you see Kill Switch out there? My God, like this dude. Like, first of all, I'm so glad he's back. and he's healthy, because I'm not sure if you guys know, but he had a very near-death experience last year. Yeah, it was really sad, and like with a condition that he was dealing with, and his wife found him, and she didn't find him in time. He would have died, like he would have passed away, unfortunately. But yeah, but he's back. He's back in the AEW. He's healthy again, and he looks amazing. Like, I think he's even bigger now than what he was last time. He looks like old school Kane. I was telling this in the group, telling them about this in the group. He looks like old school Kane, the way how he's built up and everything. So they looked really good. Christian and Cope, they won the match. So it was a really good opener. It was a really good way to kick the show off. All right. Next up, we had the TNT Championship match. The Proto Star Kyle Fletcher taking on Hiromu Takahashi. I just became familiar with Takahashi within the last year or so, watching some of the New Japan Juniors tournament that happened earlier this year. So I was a little surprised that he was the one that was going to be going after Kyle Fletcher. I thought it was going to be not Bandito, but Desperado. I'm like, damn, the mask wrestler. What's his name? I thought it was going to be Desperado was going to be going against him, but it was actually Takahashi. This was a good match. And Kyle Fletcher, man, dude, there was so much oh my God, there was so much so much net positive offense that came from him in this match. And that's what I'm saying. I'll say this in the group earlier, that there is literally no ceiling with this man. There's no ceiling with this guy. He continues to prove time in and time out. It doesn't matter if he's on the winning side of the match or the losing side of the match. You see something so special in him every time he steps into the ropes, in between those ropes. And he gives you offensive maneuvers that look so effortless and that look so impactful as well, too. Seriously, I'll be honest with you, after his cage match with Will Ospreay earlier this year, that I think that was a Dynasty, I believe it was. It was either a Dynasty or Revolution. One of this. I think it was Revolution. It was one of the two. But after his cage match with Will Ospreay, I said that he needs to be the TNT champion. And here we are. He is now the TNT champion. No joke. After this match that he had tonight, and just watching the way how he's been working, when he worked with Dustin Rhodes, when he worked with Adam Cole, just the way how he's been working as of late, and even with tonight with today as well too, he needs to be a world champion eventually. Like, within the next couple of years, he needs to be the world heavyweight champion. And I know it's a very top heavy division when it comes to the men's world championship scene, but he needs to win that title though, at least one time, because he is just so damn special, and that you would not see a talent like him again. And it's like, you got to capitalize on him. He could be like the number one heel in the world if the way how he's going. So he put on a really great performance today, and he really showed out. And he was able to retain his championship. So yes, shout out to him for that. Was a really excellent match. The next match we had, I believe it was national match number 3. It's for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. It was Zack Sabre Jr., the champion, defending his championship against Nigel McGuinness. Guys, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's matches like this. It's matches like this that remind me why I love professional wrestling. It's matches like this. This was scientific. This was a very intelligent match. This is a match that told a really methodical story as well too. It had chain wrestling. It was very respectful as well too. Like, this really was like this to the ground and grit pro wrestling style of mat wrestling. This was everything in that nature. And with me personally growing up, I always loved the very technical, scientific mat wrestling base. Like, your Bret Harts, your Mr. Perfects back in the day. Like I loved watching their matches, their Dean Malenko's, your Chris Benoit's. Like I loved watching those matches because I wanted to see that very scientific style of mat-based wrestling, and we don't really get too much a whole lot, from an American standpoint. But tonight we were able to get that with Nigel McGuinness and Zack Sabre Jr. And it was so incredibly refreshing being able to watch these two work the way how they did. And thank God, because Danny Garcia was at ringside, and he was in Nigel McGuinness' corner. I thought it was gonna be shenanigans. I thought it was gonna be some bullshit. I thought it was gonna be, like just something that was gonna throw the match off, but he had no involvement in the match. I mean, he did do that dumb stuff where he was like pushing the rope out so Nigel McGuinness could grab the rope while he, was in a submission hold or whatever like that. But other than that, though, he had no involvement in the match. Thank you, Lord. And it was just a very solid professional wrestling match, which was, like I said, it's so refreshing in this time. And it will be Zack Sabre Jr. who will take that win, and he retained his title. So we're going to see. So as of right now, we're going to see Zack Sabre Jr. defend that title, the IWGP World Title against Takeshita at Wrestle Kingdom in January. So we're looking forward to that. All right. Okay, and next up, I believe the next match we had was for the yes. Yes. So we are the winner of the four-way match for the TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné, the champion, defending her championship against Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor, Persephone of CMLL, and Bozilla of Stardom. Now, y'all. Now, I'm familiar with Persephone because I try to watch as much CMLL as I possibly can on a weekly basis. Obviously, Alex Windsor has been, she's been tearing up on Dynamite as of late. But Bozilla, I was not familiar with. I did not know anything about Bozilla. So went to the match very fresh about her, not knowing much. But my God, talk about someone who stole the damn show. Bozilla is her. Bozilla is her. I'm not playing. Bozilla was the truth. Like, this woman is tall as hell. This is a big, thick woman as well, too. Like a thick, Stop. No, tall, thick, strong as hell. Damn. You know what I mean? And she's very pretty as well, too. Very pretty on the face. You know what I'm saying? So that you can't go wrong with that. But my God, when it came time to handle that business in the ring, she did the damn thing. Like she seriously did the damn thing. And the thing was that, like, I was telling my guy Gerard about this, she moves so damn smooth. For a big woman, she moves so damn smooth because a lot of times we see a lot of big women wrestlers and they work and they walk and they move so robotic. They move so robotic and moves so stiff. You know what I mean? Whereas Bozilla, I mean, just the way how she was like moving around the ring and even being able to do counters and give offense and even climb the ropes as well too. She was moving at a very more than appropriate speed for a woman of her size, and that was really cool to see. Seriously, that was really cool to see. And she's only been in the game, they said, for 3 years too, and she's only 21. Like, she young as hell. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So she really was able to hold her own very well with a veteran like Mercedes Moné, with someone who's crafty, like a Alex Windsor, and also someone who's as skilled as Persephone as well too. So she really was, like in the ring with, being able to keep up with these women who have some mileage on them already, who have some experience and everything like that. So seeing that was really cool. Persephone looked good. I don't think she got as much. I think she did. Like, I would say, I don't think she got as much offense in, but I think she did. Though. I think she did. She did pretty well. She had a few good sequences. So I take that back. Persephone looked good. They all look great, and Mercedes did a really fine job when it came to very much putting these women over as well too, in terms of this, like, her facial expressions, just the way how her body language was, even the way how she was taking and selling moves. That's what I'm saying. All the fake hate and rage against Mercedes Moné is so absurd, because when you actually watch the way she wrestles, she elevates other women constantly. She always elevates other women. So what's your problem? Like, well, we know what the problem is. You know, you hate seeing a black woman succeed, but what's really your problem? Like, get over yourself, seriously, man, because she does some great stuff in that ring. And tonight was no exception of that as well, too. Mercedes Moné was able to get the win, you know, with, I believe she pinned Persephone, I believe. But, yeah, I believe she pinned Persephone. But it was a really good, it was a really solid match. So it was a really, really solid match. Next match I believe we have was the AEW World Tag Team Championship 3-way match. It was a Hurt Syndicate, the champions, defending the titles against FTR and Brodido. This was a really good match. I'm glad that they made this into a 3-way instead of keeping it a regular tag match. Just because all 6 of these guys deserve to be in there. And like I told you guys before, like, the way how they do 3-ways is really it's really good. I'm not gonna stay on too long, guys. You know, like, you know, I know we got things to do, so I'm kind of like speed up through some things. Shelton Benjamin looked awesome out there. Let me say, there was a sequence in there where he was giving Brody King belly to back suplex. He gave him 3 belly to back suplexes in a row, and then he took out everyone else, obviously except for Lashley, and he looked like a damn machine out there. Like, this is like man, bro, I'm telling you, this is the best iteration of Shelton Benjamin of his entire career. This is the guy. If this Shelton Benjamin may have been, I was gonna say, maybe if this Shelton Benjamin was in WWE, he would be world champion, but we all know that that's not true. But this version of Shelton Benjamin, though, like, holy shit, like, he has so much more ahead of him. The match ended up, there was a little bit of a schmaz that happened when it came to some guys from New Japan who came out to beat up on the Hurt Syndicate. It come to find out that it was the oh my god, why am I blanking on their name right now? The Ages of you know, the Ages of Agony guys. It was those guys with Ricochet. And so I guess there's gonna be a program with the Hurt Syndicate and the Agony guys. So they took them out, and there was a little clunky at the very end of the match. It was a little clunky, so I'm not gonna dismiss that, but it was a little clunky at the very end. But Brodido ended up winning the tag team championships. And heck yeah, man, it was really good. It was really good. And this team, Brodido, is so freaking over right now. Like, this was the right move. Like, the titles need to go to someone else. And also, thank God too, because, you know, it just puts to bed that whole stupid narrative that's been out there for the last couple of weeks that the Hurt Syndicate don't want to lose the straps. Like, oh my god, like, y'all believe it. Can y'all just stop believing everything you read? Seriously. Like, y'all believe everything you read. It's concerning, because it's like, are you even competent enough to formulate your own independent thoughts? And I don't think you are. Like, because when you read some BS rumor online, you run with it like it is the absolute gospel truth, and it's not. It's so dumb. Anyway, so Brody are the tag team champions. That's awesome. And we're going to see what goes on now, you know, because it appears the Hurt Syndicate will probably have a program with the Gates of Agony. Thank you, the Gates of Agony. It just came to my head with the Gates of Agony. I'm assuming that FTR is going to have a program with Christian and Cope. So Brodido, I'm not sure what's going to be next for them. Maybe Jet Speed, perhaps. Maybe Kill Switch and Sabian, or Kill Switch and Nick Wayne, perhaps. I don't know, but there are a lot of possibilities, and I'm very happy to see this, because remember, after our all in pay-per-view review, the one thing I was saying was that I just want the tag team division to be beefed up with more face tag teams. We need more face tag teams because at the time it was a whole lot of heel tag teams that were holding it down, and there were no face tag teams, only Jet Speed. That was it. But now we have it looks like Hurt Syndicate might go face. It looks, Bro Dito are the tag champs, so now their faces obviously. So now we're starting to see things kind of like turn the way they should when it comes to equaling out the playing field for the tag team division. And I'm excited about it. I'm totally excited about it because this match was really good for what it was and everything as well too. It was really super solid. So I was very happy to see that. Next up is going to be for the AEW Unified Championship, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada defending his championship against Swerve Strickland. And guys, this right here may have been one of the best matches of the night, in my opinion. Considering the fact that Swerve is dealing with a real-life injury, he still was able to modify and tweak his wrestling so this way he was able to take care of himself, but at the same time give a damn good match. Okada did not just phone it in tonight. He actually did, go out there. He really put a whole lot on the line. He's been doing that as of late with his pay-per-view matches where he gives so much more than what he does in the televised matches. But this was a really great match. Okada ended up picking up the victory, so he retained the title, which makes sense because Swerve's going to be out for some time rehabilitating himself. So he's going to be out for a while. But yeah, take care of himself and getting healthy and everything like that. And we saw the return of Wardlow as well too. He came out after the match. He beat up on Prince Nana, and took a Swerve as well too. So Wardlow was back. He's back in the mix, and apparently he's part of the Don Callis family as well too. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that as well too. The Don Callis family really is beefing up as like the most dominant stable in wrestling right now. Like this is like on some just on some like very deep NWO type stuff. The way how it's stacked up and everything. I think it'll be great though, just to make sure it's not overly saturated, that the Don Callis family is kind of spread out a little bit, where maybe half the talent's more so on ROH and maybe half the talent's on Dynamite, and the another portion of the talent is on Collision. Like you only see certain guys on certain shows. So I think that they do need to kind of split it up that way. So this way there's it's a more of an equal playing field, so it won't be too much. It won't be too top heavy. You know what I mean? Because they have some the biggest names in the Don Callis family. You have Kyle Fletcher, you have Takeshita, you have Wardlow now, you have Josh Alexander. I believe you have Okada. You know what I mean? Like you have like some of the biggest names on wrestling in the Don Callis family. So spread it out a little bit. So this way, like they can have like their slice of dominance on each of the brands that's under Tony Khan and everything. But yeah, so it was cool to see Wardlow back. He looked jacked as ever, and so we're gonna see what happens with that in the mix. So good to see that happen. And also, speaking of comebacks, there was a segment. I can't remember what after whose match it was, but Queen Aminata and Sky Blue were fighting. Were them two? No, it was Queen Aminata and Thekla. They fought to ringside from the back, and then Sky Blue and Julia Hart came out to help Thekla beat up on Queen Aminata. I love me some Queen Aminata, by the way. Goodness gracious. And then Jamie Hayter came back. So it was really cool seeing Jamie Hayter come back. She came back to a home crowd of London. Excuse me, sorry about that. So this is so it's her second time in front of the London crowd, making a big comeback, and she made a big comeback tonight. So it was really great seeing Jamie Hayter out there saving Queen Aminata. So she's back. Hopefully she's back, because I know that she was dealing with like some injury issues before. So I'm hoping that she's healthy and she's gonna be back in the mix of things. So yeah, all right. So good to see that. All right. Moving on to the next championship match, and this is for the AEW Women's Championship. This is Timeless Toni Storm defending her championship against the ROH Women's Championship champion Athena, who is cashing in her Casino Gauntlet. winning privileges. This was a good match. Athena wants to put on a ton of offense in this match, a ton of really cool offense. She was able to display in this match. And I believe Toni Storm took a lot. She took a lot of a beating during this entire match. But Toni Storm would get the victory as well. I think they did this really cool. It was really dope. It looked like kind of like a reverse fisherman suplex into the Kodija clutch. Kodija clutch, or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. And it looked really cool. You know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought Athena was gonna get the win tonight, just because of the way how she was wrestling and how she looked out there, because she looked very crisp. She looked very crispy out there and real smooth. But they gave it to Toni Storm. And yeah, so she's still the champion. So I'm curious to see, like, what her next program is going to be. Perhaps it might be with like it may. I'm just like kind of thinking like out loud, because I'm assuming that next month they're going to be doing Blood and Guts at All Out for the women, because of the whole storyline that's been going on, since the springtime with the women's division, that they've all been beefing. I believe that Blood and Guts and the All Out will be appropriate for them. So that's going to happen. And I'm assuming after that, it'll probably be like the winning team. It'll probably be like, it might be somewhere it's like the winning team will, whatever team wins Blood and Guts, maybe either who scores the pinfall, or the winning team will then have like a little tournament or a little battle royal, and that will decide who will go and face Toni Storm for the women's championship at perhaps what's the one in St. Louis called? Wrestle Dynasty or something like that. Wrestle Dream. So at Wrestle Dream will probably be Toni Storm against the winner from Blood and Guts. So we'll see about that though, because I'm wondering who Toni Storm's next program is going to be with. I'm not really that sure, because she already did Mercedes Moné, she already did Athena, she already done Megan Bayne already. Trying to think of other heels that will be on that level. Maybe Thekla, but I think Thekla needs a little bit more time in the ring though. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Alex Windsor as well too. So we'll see what happens though. But yeah, so some good things are coming up very soon. All right. Next up, we had the men's world championship. It is Adam Page defending the title against MJF. This is a much better match than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really know what to expect, because I know we've seen them in the ring a few times already before. So I'm like, well, are we gonna see anything kind of different? And we did actually. There was the match got close. It got very close to MJF winning the title. And let me say also as well too, like, I know MJF doesn't really do a lot of TV wrestling, but on pay-per-views though, he'll turn it up. He came through tonight. He really did. He really did turn up tonight. And he really did like show out as well too. Like, I haven't seen him wrestle this well, in many months. So, he really did do a lot to really help his case in terms of like, like where he is in the roster, in terms of like his main event spot. But also at the same time, this was a match where the title could change hands on the count out and the disqualification as well too. So, MJF was trying to like, set those bear traps up to see if Adam Page would fall for the okie doke and get him some count out or disqualified, but it didn't happen. Adam Page won the match, and yeah, it was a really damn good solid championship title match. So it was really good seeing that. And then we go on to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be for the lights out steel cage match. Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Tanahashi against Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, the Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd. And this match, guys, it was, man, like, this was brutal. That's the thing is that I saw somebody on my Facebook timeline crying about how AEW is so bloody and violent and everything. It's like, this is grown folks wrestling. This is grown folks pro wrestling, kid. You know what I mean? So if you want the cute, cuddly, wuddly, happy, joy, cotton candy wrestling, you know where to go for cotton candy wrestling, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Some people cannot handle blood. Some people cannot handle violence. Some people cannot handle pain. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when things look a little scary in the ring, it's scary for a reason because there's an outlet for it. If it's too scary for you, go. There's cotton candy wrestling on the other channel, and it's fine. Enjoy your cotton candy wrestling. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, it's like, because you like cotton candy, cute, cuddly wrestling, or sports entertainment, excuse me, then you don't really have any say so in terms of like what others find joy in when it comes to a more violent product. If others like a more violent product, then let them rock. You know what I mean? You don't have to like it though. It's okay. It's okay, Quan. Anyway, but yeah, no, this was good stuff right here. This is good stuff. This is a really cool match, and I had the privilege of seeing the Lights Out Steel Cage from last year at All Out when it came to Hangman and Swerve Strickland, and that's the thing. Like I said, this is a violent match. This is a very violent match, and the violence was there tonight as well too. The blood was there tonight too. We saw a crazy spot where Moxley put a fork to Darby Allin's ear, and we saw a lot of blood coming out. You know what I'm saying? We saw a lot of drops, a lot of slams, a lot of people going through tables and whatnot and everything. We saw a lot of the shit went down. It does. You know, a cage match is not supposed to be happy, joy. Let's play patty cake. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot of brutality that's involved and everything. That's what we saw as well too. And it was cool because like we saw some big spots in that match. The cage was that old school CZW cage style that was literally surrounding the entire perimeter of the ring, where there's like no room between the cage and the barrier that separates the crowd. So it was a very large cage match. You know, it was like Hell in a Cell in a way, but probably arguably much even bigger than Hell in a Cell. But without the top as well too. So saw all kinds of craziness that was going on. We saw a really great opening at the very beginning of the match before Will Ospreay came out. It was a video package that his lady Alex Windsor, that she narrated, and it was just like you know, really like covering and honoring his career and everything. We all know that Will Ospreay's injured with his neck. He has a really bad neck. He was very open and very transparent about it on Dynamite. So we're very aware about his conditions. And so going into the match, you were very, oh man, I hope he's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, watching every one of his bumps, that, you know, hopefully he was all right. And he did wrestle very smart today. Like he did give us some pretty big aerial moves. But at the same time, though, he was very conscious about the way how he was moving and landing and everything like that. So he was very smart. And it was good because there was so many more people in that match already to be able to take a lot of like the heavy load off his shoulders as well too. So this way he could he could be okay, and the match could still progress and go on and all. Claudio is like looks so damn strong, man. I swear, bro, like he looks so damn strong, and like, you know, it's just in this arena, and he was like always on it. Like when it came to like you know interrupting counts and interrupting kickouts and all that stuff and everything, he was just always on top of everything. The Young Bucks, they had once again, like, you know, with them going through their plight right now when it comes to them not being executive vice presidents. They came out to their very old school music, you know, with the bad Videotron as well too. So, you know, that was good seeing that and everything. And they set up a table on the outside, of which Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd went through the table. It was like a three-tiered stack table. They went from the top rope through the tables, and it looked brutal. There was also a big table spot on the other side, which is reminiscent of Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at at Bad Blood 97 with the very first Hell in a Cell. I can't remember who went through the table. Damn, I can't remember who it was that went through the table, but it was a heel, I believe. I can't remember who it was though, but that looked badass too though. But yeah, but the match ended off. You know, they were able to get the Bucks alone because everyone else was lights out. Ospreay was able to hit the hidden blade when Kenny Omega did the one winged angel on one of the Bucks. Tanahashi went to the top rope. He did his splash, got the 1, 2, 3. Best way to end the match was Tanahashi getting the pinfall victory. Go Ace! This is his, as you know, this is his last year wrestling. So, and he will be retiring at Wrestle Kingdom. So it was really cool seeing that. It was really, really cool seeing Tanahashi getting the victory and closing out the main event at Forbidden Door. Okay, no, that's some Twitch spam. I would put it up, but now I'm good. But so yeah, so that was really cool seeing that. So shout outs to them. That was really great at the match. And then Will Ospreay came into the ring to kind of do like a thank you to everybody. But then he got jumped by the Death Riders as they chained up the door, and Moxley just did a whole bunch of his double arm DDTs onto Ospreay, and then the Ops came out to save the day and everything, and they were able to lift the cage up and get inside and save Ospreay. So a very good way to get Ospreay off TV, to get Swerve off TV. So we're not going to see them for quite some time. I'm assuming we're probably not going to see Ospreay, to be real with you, not until probably like next summer. I would assume, just because I would want it that way too as well. Like it's like let him heal completely to his full level of health. Let him heal as much as possible. The roster is already thick enough where you have so much incredible talent all over the place that you can afford to have guys like Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland take significant time off to get healthy and get healed up, while the other guys, now they can shine up a little bit and they can go out there and they can have some incredible matches on their own, win titles, tell stories, able to keep AEW afloat while your two main stars are out, recuperating and everything. And plus fact, me as a fan of Will Ospreay especially, I would love to see him take all the time in the world. So this way next year at All In, that's going to be in London. You have your big match moment where you win the World Heavyweight Championship at All In London in front of your countrymen, and hell of a story to tell as like the greatest comeback ever. So I'm super all for it and I'm down with it. Same with Swerve as well too. Like I want to see him come back in his fullest capacity and be able to win one of the singles championship titles next year as well too, when he comes back from his recovery. But like I said, you have a roster full of guys who are hungry, a lot of top heavy talent who can be your main event stars, who could carry the brand and carry the flag and continue to tell like some really great stories in that wrestling ring. So yes, no, we had an outstanding This was a great pay-per-view tonight, a really good pay-per-view. I gave it a 93%. This is definitely an A pay-per-view. I think this was the best Forbidden Door that I've seen as well too, just because everything, and that's another thing, the pacing of today's show was so smooth. It was such a smooth pacing. The matches, the way how they were placed as well too, made sense. Also, just when it came to the match placement, they all made sense of like where they're placed at. And plus, there wasn't that burnout. Like, because we have seen some AEW pay-per-views where we've got a banger after a banger after a banger of a match, and you get to the next banger and you're like, oh man, I got nothing in me. I got nothing in me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm dead, bro. Man, y'all giving me too damn much. But like that wasn't the case. That wasn't so much the case today. It really was a very well-paced pay-per-view that made so much sense in the world. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why this is an A pay-per-view, not only from the wrestling standpoint, but also the structure of it as well too. AEW, please continue doing what you're doing when it comes to just like quality shows, quality matches, quality story, quality wrestlers. Don't worry about what the hell's going on the other side of the fence. You know, with those goofies over there who are butthurt because you have something that's very organic, you have something that's very stable, you have something that is very refreshing to see as a professional wrestling fan. So please keep it going. We still have I believe we have we have 4 more pay-per-views for the rest of the year. We have All Out, we have Wrestle Dream, we have Full Gear, and then we have World's End. So we have 4 more pay-per-views, four more opportunities to have some amazing, incredible matches. Let's do it that way. So yeah, but overall, this is a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed Forbidden Door. It really did live up to the hype and the expectations of going into it. What it was, it really was a damn good show. So I really recommend anybody that loves pro wrestling, check it out. And it was really good seeing Tanahashi be the victor of the match, because like finally here's a New Japan guy getting that big win at Forbidden Door. You know what I mean? Because there's been a lot of like, talk about, like the New Japan guys don't really get a chance to shine well at Forbidden Door or anything like that. If you're not AEW, you don't really shine too much. Well, I mean, look what happened tonight. Like look who won the main event, who closed the show out. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm not trying to hear that no more, for real. But this is a really good show, though. I really enjoyed it. Everybody shined really well. I'm gonna rewatch this. I'm definitely gonna watch 0 Hour later on tonight as well too, because I can catch up on that and see what those matches we're all talking about. So drop your comments in the chat. Even when the show is over with, still drop them in the chat. Let me know what you thought about the show. What were your thoughts, ideas? What were your expectations? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it not live up to your expectations? Did it surpass them? What do you think is going to be next in the future when it comes to like what's going to happen on Wednesday and Saturday? It's a lot. It's a whole lot to unpack, but it's really exciting to be able to unpack all this stuff and everything. So, but yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, y'all. Like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer. I said it was going to be kind of a short show today, and it is. You know what I mean? We did a little bit over an hour, so it's all good. But like I said, though, like, please, thank you very much, for tuning in today. If you did tune in, you stayed with me today and check out the show. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to follow B-Side Studios. Yeah, right there. Follow B-Side Studios on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG. We have a whole lot that's happening, that's coming up, a whole lot when it comes to live events, virtual events. We have some really, really, really cool announcements coming up as well. So I cannot wait to get this. I know I've been touching on it. I know I've been touching on it every week. I get it. I know it. But I'm so damn geeked about telling y'all what we got cooking up and everything. Y'all go, woo! Oh man, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So be on the lookout for that. That's happening very soon with B-Side Studios. Be on the lookout for what's happening with Dreamscape Theater as well too. Like I said, follow us on Facebook. We post everything. We're very transparent, and let us know what you think about it all. Visit dreamscapetheater.com if you want updates about what's happening with us as well too. All right then. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you again for joining today and chopping up with your boy, talking about Forbidden Door. We had a great time as always. I will try to be back next week to talk about the news and everything else going on in the wrestling world and what your thoughts are. All right. Y'all enjoy your Sunday. Have an amazing week and keep on being incredible people that you are. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be cool. Peace.